Back, folks. In the late summer of 1936, during the Celtic Harvest Festival of Lughnasa, the five Mundy sisters have welcomed home their brother Jack, who has served as a missionary in Uganda for 25 years. These women find joy and love in their lives every day, in spite of little opportunity for employment, marriage, or education. And they teach those values and strength to their nephew and son, Michael, who tells their story with devotion. Now, this is just a little insight into the play Dancing at Lughnasa. And joining us today is director and good friend of our show, Leslie Richards. Leslie, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much.
Lovely. Absolutely. Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about this show.
Well, it's five sisters, ages 26 to 40. And their stories being told by their son and nephew, Michael, 25 years later. He is 7 at the time that this happens in 1936. But he has grown up and remembers them, and most of all remembers the music that colored their lives, because for the first time they had a wireless set in their home, so they were hearing music from all over the world. They were hearing Irish step music, of course, which we know, but they were also hearing all the big band music, the dance music, and they were learning to dance American-style dances, the foxtrot and military two-steps and things like that. So there's all of this emotional release because of this music that's come into their lives.
That's great. Yeah. So there's a lot of music and a lot of dance in this show, is that right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. We've had 2 different choreographers, Judith Benaham, who was professor of dance at UNM for many, many years.
Very talented woman.
Yes, and she is doing the Irish dance for us. And Zane Barker, who is a musical theater favorite around town.
Very talented man as well,
yes, and he's doing the ballroom dance sequences.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So how has it been? So first of all, this is happening at the Adobe Theater.
Right.
As part of the Irish Play Festival.
Right.
How do you fit, I mean, it sounds like kind of a big show. How do you fit that into the small confines of the Adobe?
Well, it's 7 people, and it's a small world that they live in. So it's not that much of a stretch for the Adobe. I mean, I did Pride and Prejudice there with 25 people.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is a cakewalk for you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's great.
No problem at all.
So what has been the experience like for you directing it? I know you direct a lot of shows here in the community. You work both as an actor, as a director. How has this process been for you as a director?
It's been so exciting because each of the actresses that have come on board for this project, and the actors too, have worked so hard at creating a different character and a pure character that has a real Irish accent and has a personal history. It's a very strange place for women to be in 1936 in Ireland. I mean, it's an impoverished country and has been for years and millennia. And yet these characters are just so joyful in so many ways. And that's what their nephew and their son Michael remembers so many years later.
And what he's so excited to share
Yes.
with our audience.
Right.
Which, I mean, it really seems like a story that a lot of people here in New Mexico could relate to.
Yes. It's a small farming community, like so many of our northern New Mexico and southern New Mexico communities are. And and they have their own specific ways of doing things and kinds of food, much as those communities in New Mexico do.
Yeah, absolutely. So just so viewers know, the show opens next week, is that right?
A week from tomorrow, and it runs for 4 weekends.
4 weekends.
Fridays and Saturdays at 8 o'clock and Sundays at 2 at the Adobe at 4th and Alameda.
Yeah, very, very wonderful theater if you've never been before, folks. And if you want to get tickets to the great show, head over to our website at casa.com for more information. Click on the Style tab. We'll have links to the Adobe Theater. Leslie, always a pleasure to see you.